Dear Dr. Sillybear by Diane Regan, illustrated by Randy Cecil, read by Nonnie. Dear Dr. Sillybear, I am a happy bear in summer. I have lots of friends. We play in Piney Meadow and fish in the pond. But in winter, I get cranky. So cranky, my friends disappear and I can't find them until spring. I cannot face another lonely winter. Please tell me what to do. Cranky Bear. Dr. Sillybear set his doctor bag on the desk in his office. He took off his sweater and put on his white jacket. Nurse Rabbit tapped on the door. Your first patient has arrived. She handed him a chart. Good morning, Horace, the doctor said. What seems to be the problem? I am hoarse, Horace said. Hoarse, Dr. Sillybear repeated. Yes, you are. I do not need to examine you to tell you that. What should I do about it? About what? Asked the doctor. About being hoarse, Horace said. Well, since you were born this way, there is nothing much you can do about it, said Dr. Sillybear. But I was not born this way. It happened only a few days ago. What happened? Asked the doctor. I became hoarse. Dr. Sillybear peered at Horace's chart. He said. Here is what I want you to do. Go to Piney Meadow, gallop around the fish pond 6 times. A little fresh air will make you feel like your old self again. But what if it makes me more hoarse? Horace asked. Dr. Sillybear laughed. I do not think a horse can become more than he already is. Thank you, doctor. Horace coughed. A hoarse cough and galloped off to Piney Meadow. Bring! Nurse Rabbit rushed to the waiting room to greet the next patient. In waddled Mrs. Owl with her baby boy, Hoot. Dr. Sillybear tickled Hoot under his beak. My, you have grown. Are you talking yet? That is the reason I am here, Mrs. Owl said. When the owl family gathers at night to hoo, Hoot says, what? I do not know, the doctor replied. What? That is right, said Mrs. Owl. The doctor was puzzled. Does Hoot who? Never. Never what? No, always what? Never who. Dr. Sillybear scribbled on Hoot's chart. Here is what I want you to do. Take him to Piney Meadow. Let him play with his cousins in the trees by the fish pond. They will teach Hoot how to who. Thank you, Dr. Sillybear, Mrs. Owl said. The doctor patted Hoot's head. Do not worry. He is just going through a stage. What stage? Asked Mrs. Owl. That is right, Dr. Sillybear told her. The what stage? Dr. Sillybear returned to his desk. A stack of letters had arrived with the morning mail. They were questions for his advice column in the Forest Daily. From the desk of Mole. Dear Dr. Sillybear, I have trouble seeing in the dark. This is a problem because I live underground. I cannot see anything in my home in Piney Meadow. Please help. Mole. Nurse Rabbit, Dr. Sillybear called. The nurse bustled into his office. Please take a letter, he said. But first, I have to think of a good answer. How can Mole see in the dark? How about inviting fireflies to come and stay? Nurse Rabbit suggested. Dr. Sillybear sprang from his chair. I've got it, he cried. Dear Mole. Nurse Rabbit copied his words onto a pad. Catch a basket of fireflies. Give each a room to light. If you are kind to the fireflies, they will stay. Then you will be able to see in your home. Nurse Rabbit dotted the last I. What a wonderful idea, she sniffed. No wonder so many patients write to you for advice. Bring! Your next patient is here, Nurse Rabbit said. It is someone you have never seen before. Splendid, exclaimed Dr. Sillybear. A new patient is good for business. Did you take his height and weight? Nurse Rabbit handed the doctor a blank chart. I tried, she said. Dr. Sillybear went to the exam room. Inside sat a huge dinosaur. His neck was bent at the ceiling, and the chair was broken into tiny pieces. Dr. Sillybear gasped, You are a dinosaur! Yes, said the new patient. I am Andrew, and I am a brachiosaurus. But, Dr. Sillybear cried, you are extinct. Andrew huffed, Well, I took a bath this morning. Are there more of you? The doctor asked. No, Andrew sighed. This is all of me there is. He flicked his tail from side to side. A lamp crashed to the floor. I mean, Dr. Sillybear said, are there others like you? Others do not like me. That is why I am here. Andrew's head drooped, tipping over a potted plant. They say, play with someone your own size. But there is no one my own size. Dr. Sillybear moved his best picture out of Andrew's reach. It is because you are one of a kind, he said. Why, doctor, thank you. Andrew's head rose with pride, cracking the light bulb on the ceiling. Dr. Sillybear jumped out of harm's way. There is no one like you in the whole world. Oh, doctor, I feel so much better. Andrew flung out his front paw. It shattered a window. Dr. Sillybear moved to a safe spot to write on Andrew's chart. Here is what I want you to do. Go to Piney Meadow. It is the best place to make new friends. And if you sit on the bottom of the fish pond, only your head will show. That way, you will not seem so much bigger than everyone else. Oh, Dr. Sillybear, Andrew cried, how can I ever repay you? Dr. Sillybear looked at his broken chair and his broken lamp. He looked at his broken flower pot, his broken window, and his broken light bulb. Then he grinned at his new patient. I will send you a bill, he said. Bill, please replace the following. Chair, lamp, flower pot, window, light bulb. Dr. Sillybear answered one more letter before it was time to close his office for the day. Sly Fox Enterprises. Dear Dr. Sillybear, I do not agree with the advice you gave to Lamb. He wanted to play in a field far from Piney Meadow. Lamb said the grass was sweeter. You warned him not to stray. Don't be a party pooper, Doc. Let the little lamb stray if he wants. Fox. Dr. Sillybear couldn't think of a good answer for Fox. Allow me to answer Fox's letter, Nurse Rabbit said. She crumpled the paper and tossed it into the trash. Ha! Laughed Dr. Sillybear. That is the perfect answer for Fox. Why didn't I think of it? That was one question Nurse Rabbit thought it best not to answer. Dr. Sillybear took off his white jacket. He put on his sweater and closed his bag. He did not have to turn off the light since Andrew had broken the bulb. Ready? Nurse Rabbit turned the open sign to closed and locked the door. Ready, she answered. I'm sorry, we're closed. And off they went to meet their friends at the fish pond in Piney Meadow. Dear Cranky Bear, as soon as you begin to feel cranky, it is time to take a long winter's nap. Go to the cave in Piney Meadow. There you will find a big surprise. Nurse Rabbit, or Dr. Sillybear. The end.